Frankenstein a la Shmoop. Nature versus nurture. What is the nature versus nurture debate?
So nature versus nurture, you've probably heard this being talked about in contemporary society. The question is, are we born as a blank slate and anything that we are as humans comes from nurture, meaning comes from the environment we're brought up in, the way we're treated, etc.? Or are we born with certain innate qualities? I might be born as kind of like a bubbly kid, or am I born blank slate and because my mom is bubbly, so am I? That's kind of the question. Nature versus nurture is used a lot in super controversial topics like homosexuality, where there are people who argue that, people are not born as homosexuals, but instead it is, nurture and it's learned. Exactly. So that's the nature versus nurture.
How is the nature versus nurture debate brought up in Frankenstein?
Is the monster innately bad, or is he bad because his creator abandoned him? Those are the two options. Either he was just born a monster, or created a monster, or he was totally a blank slate, could have turned out to be, the sweet guy next door, but then Victor abandoned him, and so he became evil and started killing everyone. The Enlightenment kind of is when this theory of the blank slate, or the fancy term for that is tabula rasa, came about with John Locke. And the idea would be that, yes, Frankenstein's monster could have turned into a normal guy and could have led a totally fine life, but he was abandoned by his creator, and so the nurture made him not be that way. Today, you look at a toddler, you look at a kid, like we now know that tabula rasa is not a thing. It's definitely not, no one's born a blank slate, but we still don't know how much.
And the modern parlance is that there's a genetic predisposition to doing something
Exactly.
in some way.
Exactly. We know that nobody's born blank slate. We also know that, nurture is an issue in nature, but we still haven't figured out how much. And this is something that Mary Shelley was thinking about, and John Locke and the Enlightenment was thinking about like hundreds of years ago, and we still haven't figured it out.
What is the nature versus nurture debate? How is the nature versus nurture conflict presented in Frankenstein?